Here's my rough cut, and I'm using AI voice so you know the difference between me speaking and the narration.
The joy of seeing the cat finally.
Now, in here, I used a J cut for the audio. What a J cut is, listen to this.
But why that one? Think about as I get an authentic hand.
And I'll play this part again.
Authentic handcraft.
That's where the audio from the next scene, which is the chirping birds, is pushed into the earlier scene. And that's a nice, smooth effect. I know we deal with visuals, but our visuals are impacted by the way we play with the audio. And L cuts is the opposite, where this audio would continue into the next scene. The goal is to connect this to After Effects and to start to do the motion design that will add a new layer to this experience. First, I wanted to make this frames, because right now, it's in seconds. You hold down the Command key and click, you'll get to frames. You can leave the time code as seconds. Working with frames here and frames in After Effects makes things go a lot smoother because it's easier to remember. Like 149 for the next transition as opposed to 4 seconds and 29 frames. Time to connect the two together. Let me jump to frame 149. I think really it should be frame 148 right there. Using the left and right keys on the keyboard, I could go back and forth. If you use the down arrow, I could go in between the cuts. So next one might be 298. So 149, I'm just going to step back one to 148. To connect this to After Effects, to create all the cool motions that will make this experience. Going to create right here, and you could create a black video or a color mat. It doesn't matter. They're just placeholders. I'm going to use black video. Click on OK, drag it here. It's stopped. Going to drag that video all the way to the end. And it's just a placeholder. We'll throw this out in a moment, not here in After Effects, because this will be the link into After Effects. Let me hit save. Right-click on this clip, and it could be any clip. It could be sequence, color mat, and go to Replace with After Effects Composition. That's all you have to do. After Effects is going to launch. It's going to ask to save the file. I already did this once. I'll call it number 2 right here. Save. Now, the reason why you're doing this, a live link, great workflow. Also, remember, the After Effects background is naturally transparent. And so you can have that transparency overlaid on top of your videos. This way, you don't have to do any extra alpha rendering of your movie clips. That's awesome. First, I'm going to delete this because this black video is just a placeholder connection. I don't need this now. Stage still looks like this because you could toggle on and off the alpha. Going to keep it off because it's easier to see the text when I type it. I'm going to type the word cat since that's my first sequence. Back to the select tool. So I'm not typing text anymore. My paragraph is set to centered. So this type is centered within this box, within its container. But to center it out on stage, I'll go scroll down to alignment and click here for align horizontally and vertically. Save this, and when you save this, that link is updated. Jumping back to Premiere, we'll see the word cat. Great. But now the word cat's everywhere. Why? Because we have to do our motion graphics. We have to divide up the layers, even maybe pre-comp each layer. That's up to you as the motion designer, artist, however you want to work. But now we have this live link connection right here to cat. So I'm going to jump back to After Effects, and I said around frame 148, 149. Right here is probably the end of the cat sequence and the beginning of the coffee sequence. So going right here to 148, jumping back to After Effects. Now, if you don't see this time code, you see seconds, just like in Premiere. Hold down the Command key and you can toggle in between. I'm going to frame 148 right there and selecting the layer of this composition, Command-Shift-D, that splits that layer into 2 pieces. This piece, I'm going to name coffee. Let's see if I'm accurate, not coffee, if I'm accurate with its position. Go zoom in, picking up the move tool again, select tool, so this way I'm not accidentally typing some text there. I'm going to go back to alignment. It should be pretty close, but I'll probably jump over pixel 2. because different letters. And if you didn't blink, you could see it jump over a little bit. Saving this, jumping back to Premiere. And we're just trying to set up our boundaries. Oh no, coffee leaked over 1 frame too soon, right? So at 148, jump back to After Effects, knowing that coffee, and command left arrow to move in After Effects. So cat should go out to here, and coffee shouldn't be here yet. So if I select this and option click, you can see that it's going to drag the word cat over 1. And if I option left click, if I go 1 forward, command right arrow, and then option left bracket to trim, command left, command right. So hopefully I got it correct now. Save this. Let's jump back to Premiere because that's where it really matters. There's cat there. If I go forward 1 by just pressing the right arrow, coffee, cat, coffee. 1 more to do. So if I click on this clip and press the down key, I'll go right here, frame 298. Let's see if I could get it correct on this one try. Jumping back to After Effects, going to frame 298. 298. Let me split the clip here. Command Shift D. Moving over here. Clicking here, and I'll name this van. Not and, van. Move tool, so I'm not typing anymore, and I'll align. Only nudged it a bit. Save it. Let's see if I have to nudge this one over a frame. So there's van. If I go back 1, coffee, van. Perfect. Now I have my different segments.
But why that one? Think about as I get.
And down here, coffee.
Open to seeing what.
The first shot, the first object, it's one long clip. The next one's made up of 1, 2, 3 clips, and the van is made up of 1, 2, 3 as well. Motion graphics can help hold video together, helping the audience understand the story that you're telling. Now, right now, I just have words. It's up to you to go to After Effects and animate this. Animate the words, and it could be whatever you want going around here. The words could slide on, they could poof on and off, they could spring into action. Maybe you want a little graphic around it, not too much of a graphic. Anything that you create has to be created in After Effects right here. And you don't have to do much to help tell your story. So I'm leaving this creativeness up to you. And your motion graphic design is going to help elevate this foundational story that's in Premiere. Enjoy the motion design moments. I look forward to seeing what you create.